so that's just a little bit about me. Now I'm going to welcome Martha. She has a very interesting story, and we're going to learn a little bit more about it. So yeah, welcome. Let's listen, and I will take questions at the end. So yeah, you can come up, Martha. Sit. So this part of the gala is going to be a little bit more like a question and answer. So I prepared some questions to ask Martha, and yeah, we're going to see her answers, and we're going to learn a little bit about her life experience. So yeah, do you want to tell me about your position right now and a little bit about who you are? Just an introduction.
So good evening, everyone. My name is Martha. I am a registered nurse by background. Currently, I work for the Ministry of Health as a consultant. So basically, I consult with my team in supporting. It's a provincial position, so I see different, people from all over Alberta. Basically, that's what I do.
That's amazing, thank you. My first question for you is, what inspired you to pursue a career in healthcare?
So basically, as you know, when you go to university or college in Canada, there are counselors. And being young and, looking what I look like, being an immigrant, obviously every counselor told me to be a nurse. I did not like that advice, so I took different courses in university. I did my first degree in Winnipeg, so it's very different from Calgary. So you can do your prerequisite and then apply. So that gave me the opportunity to take different courses, explore different faculties, ask questions, but eventually decided to pursue a career in nursing.
Nice, thank you very much. My next question is, how did you get where you are, or climb the ladder and achieve your current position?
I know. I was telling Bernetta, I don't like the word ladder. I would say it was a path. Since I graduated, I worked in different care streams, which is the beauty of Canada. As a nurse, you don't necessarily have to do traditional roles, but early in my career, I worked frontline, in acute care, different care streams, and also worked in different capacities, which gave me the experience and also the exposure. And I think as immigrants, the barrier that we have is we don't even know what's out there, because we don't have someone that have gone before us, that have walked that path, or that can kind of show us the possibility that the system offers. So the more I explored different options, I felt like I could do something similar and applied, and was successful for the position that I have right now.
So what I got from that is that you really value exploring and to see what you like and also what you don't like, right? Because something I've learned is when you learn stuff, it's good to know what you like, but it's also good to know what you don't like, and that can help you with your future career. So yeah, that's really nice to hear. I'm wondering, what were your biggest challenges and your setbacks with your career?
I'm gonna say COVID. So during COVID, I was running a home, so I was responsible for a very large operation. We had over 400 staff, over 300, residents, and then with that comes family members. And obviously, COVID was very challenging, something that challenged us globally. That really challenged the healthcare. But what was different, I guess for me, I'm going to be selfish, is that I worked with a vulnerable population, right? So they were at a very high risk. There was a lot of restriction. So it came with a lot of long hours, a lot of, unknown. The other thing about COVID was in Canada, in our healthcare, we really depend what's called expert knowledge. So we have a lot of expert knowledge departments at our disposal. So if you don't know something, all you have to do is find the email, find the department or the individual that's responsible for that specific area. But with COVID, there was no expert, right? Everyone from the top to the front line, we were all learning and trying to navigate the situation. As well, there were human lives attached to it, right? So it's not something you can say, oh, I'm going to try and it might work or not. Like, people were actually dying from it. And so that made it challenging. So I put a lot of long hours as the leader. And for months and months didn't have a day off. But at the same time, it was a time that really built my resilience, that really sort of inspired me, because you need a team and you need everyone to really succeed. And as a site, we were quite successful. But I would say nothing could prepare me for that challenge. And hopefully I don't ever want to go through that ever again.
Thank you so much. My next questions are going to be about skills. So what would you say are your most critical skills to thrive in your position? But also I'm more curious to see what are skills that you think are important to define success, and what does success look like?
So I don't know. So for me, success is, it depends what success is to you as an individual, right? So I think in society, we often, attach success to a title, a position, or the amount of money we make, or the type of education we pursue. I really believe that success is what you make it. And as long as you're happy and you're content with what you do, to me, that's success. Because I know a lot of people that are very successful, but are very unhappy. And so to me, as long as you find your niche and you're happy, I think to me that's success. Especially for us who are immigrants, it's very difficult for us to navigate. And to me, if someone can navigate the system, obtain a certificate and get a decent job, to me that's a really, really good success, right? So to me, define success to you. In terms of skills, it all depends what you do. Personally, I had to work, for instance, things like emotional intelligence or communication skills, right? Because we know how to talk or communicate as Abasha or people from East Africa, but the way the Canadian society expects us to communicate is very different, right? You have to smile, you have to sugarcoat things. As a leader, you really have to almost indirectly send your message than directly. So it's very, very different. And, it does come with experience. And as well, there are a lot of courses available if you're interested to take. So I think communication is key in terms of succeeding.
Thank you. Yeah, I like the part where you said success is not how much money you make. It's not what degree you have. It's not attached to that. It's about whether you're happy or not, right? So I really like that part. Thank you. The next question I had is, how often do you use technology in your day-to-day work life? I asked this question because I know now with AI and so many technology advancements, I was curious to see how that is in healthcare.
So because I work for the ministry, we don't use any AI. It's actually not allowed. We just use basic Microsoft. It's actually very strict, obviously, because there's a lot of public information that we deal with. But we use with the staple items, things like email and PowerPoint and Excel, Microsoft, just the basics, yeah. So I don't have any fancy AI.
Okay, yeah, that's good to know. My next question is, what advice would you give those healthcare workers who feel burnt out or is struggling with work-life balance? When I think of a nurse, I think of someone who works hard. Like you have to be there because you're dealing with people, you're dealing with health. So what advice would you give to people who feel burnt out in this aspect?
I think my advice would be to find a workplace that you like, because healthcare is not easy. But if you like what you do, whatever that may look like, I think that will keep you going. You can work in a very difficult care stream and still enjoy it if that's what you enjoy. So I think finding a place where you like and you're interested is very, very important. A workplace that really supports you is very important, because the opportunities are out there. This is Calgary, so you can always go out and explore if you're struggling in your current area. As well, self-care is very important, because it's very important to take care of yourself as much as you take care of people at whatever capacity. And also your attitude matters, right? Healthcare is more than a job. I do believe it's an act of service, and which what makes it difficult. So if your attitude could be, I had a very difficult day, or your attitude could be, today I helped someone dress, and this individual could not achieve that if I didn't, if I didn't go to work and actually contribute. What healthcare people do is very important, and it does take like an individual. It does take, sort of a passion. And I think we should all be proud. If you're in healthcare, the little that you do, it does change everyone's life. It does come down to someone, say, being able to have their meal versus not, say, if we don't show up to work. And so, especially going through COVID, I have seen that and witnessed that. Like when you don't have people show up to work, it does create challenges. So I think we should really be proud and be happy with what we do, and also really connect with people, focus on our social life, and also really taking care of ourselves. That way we don't burn out.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like that's really important to learn how to tackle burnout and, like, more importantly, prevent it, so we don't have to deal with that. So yeah, thank you for that response. My last question is, did you face any barriers, and how did you manage to communicate with both colleagues and patients? Specifically as Black people, I know English wasn't your first language, so like kind of how did you learn that, and like just manage communication in that aspect?
Obviously English is not my first language. It's actually my third. I speak two other languages. Speaking was, I think, okay. I came young to Canada. Where I had to work hard was professional communication, and especially writing skills, right? So writing an email is very different than writing professionally. So those skills I intentionally had to work on, and so I had to read a lot of books, a lot of literature, and then you can see how they write, and that can build your skills as well. Taking courses and really identifying, being honest with yourself and identifying your gaps. So for me, I had to work hard and also get the support. So I would say when I was in university, I would write a paper and then ask a friend to edit it for me, because I don't see my grammatical errors or my errors in areas where I didn't explain the questions as it was asked. So I think that's how I overcame the barrier, but I continue to learn, because English is not one of the easiest languages to learn. It's very complex and it has different nuances to it, and so I continue to learn.
Thank you. Yeah. From your response there, what stood out to me was you asking others to check your work for you. I think that's really good, because often we can feel like, we know it, but when you have a different set of eyes looking at something, then they can see, actually here you can improve, this is not correct, and then over time you learn. So yeah, I feel like that's really important and good to know. Those are all the questions I have for you, but I want to give a chance to the audience and everyone to ask any questions. Right now is a really good opportunity to learn something. So yeah, if anyone has questions, I can take it now. Don't be shy. በአማርኛም መጠየቅ ትችላላችሁ። No? Okay. Thank you very much, Martha. We can give her a round of applause.